Hey guys, how's it going? Well, let's a room populate here for a second. Hello everybody. Thanks for joining me on another Friday live stream. Friday in North America, it's Saturday morning here in Japan. How's everybody doing? I hope you've been having a good week. Let's see a couple more people come in here. I have a pair from 2012. I can't fit, need tailored. Well, if they're too big, then you can certainly have them taken in a little bit. Check out your local tailor shop. A lot of people think that you need to go to some kind of specialty denim, place to get your jeans fixed. That's not necessarily true. Your local tailor shop has been fixing jeans and pants for probably decades, and they certainly have the experience to do it. So a lot of people message me, where can I get my jeans hemmed? Where can I get my jeans, patched up, that type of stuff. Your local tailor shop knows what they're doing, and they'll probably be a lot cheaper than some of the specialty services that are out there. Now, if it's a particular damage or it requires a lot of work, then maybe you want somebody that has a little bit more of an eye for what would look good, maybe, or maybe there's a specific type of repair that you really want to make sure that it gets done a certain way. Then you can express that to your specialty denim repair shop. But basic patches, taking in the waist, that type of hemming, that type of stuff, it can be done at the local tailor shop. They'll do a single needle hem for you. If you want to chain stitch hem, that's another story. Most standard tailor shops don't have the machinery to do that, but a single needle will do the job also. There's nothing wrong with a single needle hem. All right, so we've got a couple of folks in here. Thanks for that. I don't know. See, brain farting. It's a little early. I just woke up, still having sips of my coffee. So just to give you guys an update on Naked and Famous Denim World, right now we are transitioning from the spring-summer collection into fall-winter. So right now I know the team back home in Montreal, they're busy shooting all of the fall-winter 2020 collection. So I'm going to make that available to preview on the website in probably a week or two. Just depends on how much of it gets done. So you'll be able to see all of the new product. You'll be able to see all the new product. We won't have measurements up yet, but the product descriptions are going to be there. The measurements will only come when the product actually arrives from production. So just be patient on that. And then I will follow up with a release schedule. So a lot of information regarding the fall-winter collection will be coming out very, very soon. Of course, if you guys have been watching these live streams, you guys have seen a lot of previews of the fall-winter 20 collection already. I've got a small pile of jeans here that I'm happy to go through with you guys today as well. So as we make the transition to fall-winter, that means we're also transitioning out of spring-summer 20. So what does that mean? Not a whole lot. Tete and Yoko is going to be going on sale on Tuesday, June 30th. However, there will be few markdowns for the spring-summer collection. You're not going to see a lot. There have been more markdowns for previous season's collections. So there's a lot of good deals going on there. So I don't believe in the retail cycle. I don't know if you guys are aware of what that is. It's basically things come in and get marked down kind of in clockwork. So come in at the start of the season, marked down at the end of the season. But those items are still perfectly good. And basically what that does is a lot of brands basically are designed to go on sale. So there's a lot of kind of fakeness built into the real price because they fully expect most of this stuff is going to sell afterwards. We don't build our collections that way. The standard, somebody's mentioning here, the standard cycle encourages fast fashion. Bingo. We are not fast fashion. We're slow fashion. So, we don't have fake prices that artificially are high so that we can mark it down and tell you you've got an incredible deal, So that said, I don't follow that schedule. Of course, everybody wants a deal, but we tend to mark things down as they have kind of lowered in inventory, when I need to make room, that type of thing. Of course, we have promotions here and there. So, of course, I try to hook up the deals whenever I can. But in terms of this fast fashion cycle, we are not a part of it. We don't want to be a part of it. I don't like it. I think it's pretty destructive. So for our Americanada Day sale, it falls over Canada Day, which is on July 1st, and American Independence Day on July 4th. So we call it the Americanada Day mid-season sale or mid-year sale. We've got a lot of deals going on. Right now, if you check out Tate and Yoko, there is a sales section, and you'll notice that the sales section is broken down into 20% off, 30% off, 20% off, 40% off, and 60% off. For the sale on Tuesday, anything that's 20% off will become 30% off, anything that's 40% off will become 50% off, and anything that is 60% off becomes 70% off. And I've already moved basically everything that is going to be on sale is in those collections already. I've made some further reductions on some product already, which will be even more further reduced in a couple of days. Inventory is here and there for certain products, so there might be only one or two pieces left in any particular size. So if you see something you like and you want to get it now, you can. Just know that it will go on sale later on, but I think on Tuesday there might be a little bit more competition for certain things. So anyways, you got to weigh that out yourself. An extra 10% off is just a few bucks anyway. So keep that in mind. We will also be the Raised by Wolves collection, Erotica collection, so some graphic tees and hoodies. Those are going to be 25% off. We've got jeans for under $100. We've got jean jackets for under 130. Not all. There's a certain assortment of them. And outerwear, Shot, and Arc'teryx will be 25% off as well. And then we've got an extra surprise loaded up, which you'll see on Tuesday. So you got to subscribe to our newsletter on Tate and Yoko in order to get all of the information. So if you are not a member of that newsletter list, go over to Tate and Yoko and sign up for it so that you are notified when that happens. Of course, we'll post things on Instagram here as well. But if you're not following us on the newsletter, you're just missing out on a bunch of stuff. So anyways, that's what's coming up on in our world in the next couple of days. If you have any questions, let me know. Somebody asked, what t-shirt is this? This is the Naked and Famous denim circular knit white t-shirt that I've been wearing for many, many years, and it started to not be so white anymore. So I indigo dyed it. I just bought an indigo dye kit, and I dipped it in indigo, and I gave it a new life, new color. And I have to say, I've talked about our basic tees a lot and how I'm a humongous fan of them. I mean, I should be, but just in terms of quality, they don't fall apart. Like, I have a million t-shirts where you get 100 zillion holes, kind of like, what am I doing here? You get a million holes, like, throughout the body and things like that. I've been wearing this shirt for years and years, no holes, holds up, shape is great. And yeah, if you wear it out, just dye it. That's what I did. And you have a whole new life with that garment. You don't need to throw things out, and that goes back to, even with our jeans, wear and repair, don't contribute to this fast fashion stuff. Wear your stuff as long as you can. I mean, it's a basic tee. When is this ever going to go out of style? So, yeah, I encourage people, if I guess the only thing you can't really do is if you've outgrown your stuff, then you got to figure out what to do with that. But if you do have faded jeans that you've grown out of, hit me up because we are collecting faded jeans. I put a post up on our Instagram a couple of days ago. I know our New York store and Tati and Yoko have as well. We want your faded jeans. We will give you 20% off on a new pair of Naked and Famous denim in exchange for them. We'll also pay for the shipping back to us. A lot of you guys you always ask me for faded images of this model or that model. So we're trying to collect as many as we possibly can. And the only way to do that is to reach out to you guys in the community. So if you do have a pair that you are not wearing anymore, maybe you've outgrown or, whatever reason, we want them. We'll give them a forever life. It's never going to end up in a landfill. We will proudly display them in our showroom, on our wall of fade. We will display them in our New York store. So you can rest assured that they're not going to end up in some junk pile somewhere. I've been hang drying my whites, and they look a whole lot better. Hang drying my whites. I guess so. I'm a masochist when it comes to laundry, and everything goes in the dryer. Although in Japan here, we do have you can see here, we can hang our clothes outside. It's pretty common. Pretty much everybody does that here. So that also happens. But yeah, just the instant satisfaction of dry clothes. What an incredible invention. Thank you, whoever invented that. Whoever invented heat. It's a joke. And having to explain your jokes that's good. Is that a fleur or a slur? What's a fleur? I don't know what you're saying. Sorry. I'm just going back on some comments here. Any fall 2020 secrets? Thanks, nature. That's right. Thanks, nature. Okay. Fall, winter 2020. They're not secrets. I happily give you guys this information. So let's go over a couple of styles here, and let's start off with. I know this one's a real winner, and a lot of people like looking at this one. Let me just load up the information here because I know there will be some questions about it. Let's start off with. Hey, the tatami denim. So this here is, well, it's not actually denim. It is traditional Japanese tatami. So you might have, let's take a look here together. So this is not a typical woven garment. You can see that the strands are very much visible, and tatami is traditional Japanese flooring, and it's usually made with some, type of straw. But in this case, it is made with indigo dyed cotton yarns, and you can see that, these strands actually move about, and you can see even where the sewing lines are, you can see that the strands have kind of spread out a little bit. Over time, what's going to happen is these strands are going to break. So they'll bust in half, and they'll fade. So you're going to get this crazy, crazy looking jean with just this frayed fibers all over the place. And if you liked our Sakiori denim, this kind of falls into that same world of weird Japanese textiles that probably, they weren't really designed to make jeans, but boy, do they make a really interesting pair of jeans. Okay, somebody's asking a good question. So anyways, that's the tatami denim. You've got the suede leather patch as well. These are going to retail for $218 US. So that's, I would say, a pretty good price for these. Not quite as expensive as the Sakiori. So if you missed out on those, I know a lot of people did. Those ones were pretty fast seller this season. You'll be able to, get something in the same kind of world here with the tatami denim. And I think the fact that they're indigo might make them a little bit easier to wear as well. So we've got that going for it at the same time. So Tatami Denim, check it out, coming this fall. Okay, there was another question here. Somebody asked, do you have a pair of Sakiori to show us? They look strange, different on your page. I don't have a pair here, I'm sorry. But what you see on the page is what they look like. You can go back a little bit, you'll see some Instagram posts as well. Could you clear up the difference between using pure indigo and natural indigo and hand-dyed indigo within the denim world, and what are the benefits of each? Pure indigo is chemically derived indigo. So the chemical itself that is created synthetically is pure. That's why they call it pure indigo. When you make indigo from a plant, depending on, each crop, there's going to be different variations in it. There's natural, particulars in there that can change the composition of the chemical itself. So it's not as pure as pure indigo. So the benefit of, say, a natural indigo is I would say that it's inconsistency, because from dye lot to dye lot, you're going to have some variances, and, there's beauty within that in itself. Which is why you don't see a lot of natural indigo dye product, because if you're trying to make a larger run of something, you might have inconsistencies from the start of the production to the end of the production. And, some people will understand that and some people won't understand that. And I think in our world, people will understand it. Absolutely. Well, I would say that there will still be people who don't understand it and they might complain about something. But if you tried to apply that in, say, the mass market world, it would be total chaos. I remember meeting with one of our fabric suppliers, and our guy there was talking to us about one of their accounts that they were dealing with, very, very large mass market retail chain, millions and millions of units. I mean, just huge, humongous business, an important business for them, of course, a very large customer for them. But they were talking about the very annoying part of working with them, because they were specifically looking for Japanese denim, and they wanted to have a Japanese denim line. So, of course, they do that. And the problem was, when they were delivering fabric or showing them fabric, because they were making it on these old machines, the fabrics are inconsistent, just in terms of construction. It's not a very, when you're making on shuttle looms, again, you will have variances even within the fabric, and that's why we love it, in the raw denim world, because no two pair are the same. No two anything is the same, but there's a certain characteristic to something that is inconsistently made rather than something that is poorly made, right? So I think that mass market retailer had a hard time distinguishing that. They were complaining about the fabric, saying that it's not consistent, it's not flat enough, it's not this, it's not that, because when they do their production, because they're doing these humongous wash jobs and things like that, they need to have the most consistent fabric so that each pair of jeans comes out essentially exactly the same. And when you start off with a fabric that doesn't quite have the same starting point, then you get a lot of variances in the end product. And, it was funny because they're like, they want to use our fabrics because it's known for being the best, but they don't want basically one of the best features of our fabric, or why people, especially denim enthusiasts, love our fabric. So it's kind of one of those weird things that happened. And I thought it was a funny story. So I rambled on. I hope that explained a little bit about natural indigo versus pure indigo. Also, pure indigo tends to fade a little bit faster than natural indigo. The science for that, I'm not quite sure. I just know from experience that the pure indigo stuff does tend to fade faster. I think there was a second part to that question. And hand dyed. Okay, basically the question was, what are the benefits of hand dyeing within the denim world? So, hand dyeing denim is a slow process, a beautiful process. It's a process where you have one person usually who's dyeing by hand, and their knowledge and skill is determining when that yarn is ready, when it's completed. So there's something within slow production that is beautiful, and I think that's one of the reasons for it is that even within that, of course, you're going to have some inconsistencies there because, as much as a chef knows when a steak is ready, each steak is going to be slightly different from the other. And so when you have a batch of hand-dyed indigo that is ready, even within that, there'll be some slight shades of variance. And when you make a fabric with that, you've got this great fabric that has that kind of naturalness to it. So that is the benefit of hand dyed. For me, that's what I think is ultimately the best part about it. Whereas with a rope dye, it's a mechanical process, so they can have a lot of control over the way the yarn is dyed, how long it spends in the indigo bath, how long it's spent drying outside of the indigo bath. Those things are all controllable. Whereas when you're doing something by hand, you of course, we all believe, especially if we're masters and experts of things, that we have ultimately the control. But, there are going to be variances because of that. So that's the major difference between a rope dyed product or a mechanically dyed product versus a hand dyed product. I also say that the hand dyed stuff spends more time typically in the indigo bath. So the indigo penetrates the core, penetrates the yarn more. So it actually doesn't fade as well as the rope dyed stuff does. Not that it doesn't fade as well, it doesn't fade as fast and with as high contrast. Well is certainly subjective. So that is the difference between those two. Hey, you were great on Denim Hunters. I can hear you talk for my life. Well, thanks for listening to the Denim Hunters podcast with me on it. I spoke about this last week, and I listened to it myself, and I felt that I was stuttering a lot, and I tend to stutter a lot, ums and ahs, and you knows, I say that so much, so I'm actively trying to not do that. So you're going to see a lot more pauses in my video here, especially. I can already feel it, because I want to speak at 1,000 miles an hour, but when I do, sometimes the words come out faster than my brain can keep up with, so the ums and ahs come out. So I'm just trying to not sound so ummy and ahy. I hope... so, see, these are these pauses where ums and ahs should be. So, bear with me if you find that my cadence presently is a little annoying. I think it's a little annoying, but I'm trying to improve my speaking. Cookies and Cream 2 are literally my favorite Naked and Famous pants ever. Would love to see another cool print on a super skinny stretch. Well, the Cookies and Cream weren't a print. That was actually woven into the fabric. So that was designed at the fabric, at the yarn level. Will we do something else like that again? I could see it. I like the Cookies and Cream. Or we did the Blizzard denim, which was really nice. So you'll see stuff like that again. There's no question about it. Would you ever do a colored core with a colored weft? Yes. Yes, we would. What is your favorite pair from the Dragon Ball Z collection? Well, speaking of the Dragon Ball Z collection, if you guys... Maybe I should have said this at the start, but anyways. The restock of the Trunks denim is available now on Tate and Yoko. If you pre-ordered your Trunks stuff, you got that. So this is what remained after all of our pre-orders were shipped out. So whatever was left over from that production is now available on the website. So you can get that right now on Tate and Yoko. There's a few jackets left. I think only smalls and mediums. And there's some sizes. There's some decent sizes in Super and Weird Guy. Easy Guy's a little bit iffy there. But the Dragon Ball Z collection is still available on Tate and Yoko. And my favorite pair, I think it's the Vegeta for sure. But the Trunks also. Yeah. The Vegeta, just because that fabric is so gorgeous. It's, to me, in the realm of Okayama spirit, Japan heritage, it is just... That is... When you think of, like, the best of Japanese denim, that is it. And I think we nailed it with the Vegeta, especially, you know... The Trunks also is in that realm, but it being a black denim is... maybe not as common as in, you know, not maybe what you automatically think when you think denim. You know, obviously we think blue jeans. So it is a close second, or maybe even tied for first, because that slub fabric is so beautiful. Those are my two favorites from that collection. But I do love everything from that collection. The Cell, the Goku. The Goku is beautiful. I've seen faded pairs posted online. We even had our faded pair posted if you go back on the Instagram. So you'll see just how beautiful that fabric fades. The slub stretch denim we use it's very nice. We've had so many great faded pairs. There was the construction base we also used for the original Sakura slub stretch denim. That was kind of the predecessor to the Hanami. So if you want to see a pink weft faded, I posted a pair just the other day on the Instagram. You can check that out. So, and again, this goes back to why I'm asking for more, why I'm asking to get some of your jeans back, is because I want to be able to show more faded pairs from our history with you guys. A lot of you people ask, and I want to be able to deliver. Sometimes I get some DMs, and then I go online and I start hunting around to find some photos that I can share with somebody. But it'd be much easier for me if I could just point you to our Instagram, have everything all in one place. I can't wait for Rick and Morty. Neither can I. Speaking of Rick and Morty, within the next 2 weeks, I'm going to have sampling of the Spring Summer 21 collection. I'm going to show that off with you guys, alongside you guys. So you're going to get some super, super sneak previews of the next season's collection, which should include the Rick and Morty stuff. I don't know if I will have that within 2 weeks or not, but as soon as I get the samples, I will definitely let you guys know. Okay, another thing. We are getting into our Spring Summer 21, collection, kind of our booking season. So this is the time where we typically would have met with retailers to show them the new collection so that they would be able to place their orders for next season. So just in terms of the wholesale, retail partner sales cycle, usually we work almost a year in advance. So right now is when they would be buying stuff for... 6 months ago is when we were developing the collection for what is going to be presented to retailers right now. The retailers place their orders within the next, 8 weeks, and then we deliver January, February-ish. So right now, because of the stuff going on in the world and lockdowns and travel bans and, all that kind of thing, Obviously, we can't meet with our retailers face to face, so we are going to be presenting them the collection virtually through a video, similar to like what I show you guys at the start of every season when we have a new collection. So they'll be seeing the collection online through photos, and with a little video, I'll be going over the collection with them. But one thing that we don't have the opportunity really to do this season is to meet with new retailers. And the reason for that is because usually we'd be at a trade show, and you have these. Sometimes I'll reach out to retailers, or sometimes retailers will find us and they'll see us at a show, and a lot of it is kind of just done with. They're walking by our booth, they see something interesting, they come in, and we meet with those people, and sometimes they place an order, sometimes they don't, but anyhow, we get to meet them regardless. But I know a lot of you guys ask me for, sell to this store, sell to that store. It's not really up to me. I can approach people, but as a salesperson, I think I've talked about this before, it's probably not the solicitations are usually met with some type of, that standoffishness. If you're in sales, you probably know that already. So I don't typically like to just cold call or approach people. I like it when they are aware of us, because in that way they know already that there's a demand for it. So that said, if there is a local retailer that you want Naked and Famous carried at, speak to them, let them know, because when they know that there's a demand for something, it's more likely that they will bring something like that in. So anyways, I'll have some posts even on our Instagram showing off some of the Spring Summer 21 collection, and even just tagging a retailer and saying, hey, check this out, this is the kind of stuff I'd like to buy from your store. And that might help make some introductions for us. And also, I don't know where every store is in every state and every town. So if you guys let me know where your local retailer is, it also helps me, even just in terms of approaching them and saying, hey, you know what, I've got customers asking me from your area, and you might want to check this out. So that will help spread the word for me. It would help me out, and it will also help us get our products closer to you. I know the in-store experience is still the preferred experience. You want to be able to try jeans on whenever possible. So I would love to make it such that wherever you are, there is a retailer near you that you can count on. So let me know. Either when you see some spring summer posts, either reach out to your favorite retailer, let them know, check this out, tag them in our comment section, or let me know what retailers that you think I should be approaching, and I'll try to make that happen. So more rope dye. You better believe it. We'll have tons of rope dye. I get that. It's definitely a certain therapeutic quality about listening to anyone speak about something they're passionate about, stutters and all. Well, I appreciate you appreciating it. My rambling on. So I can go on forever about almost any dumb topic, but I do love my favorite topic is denim, of course. Dumb topics, not dumb, but some people, anyways, if it's just one of those things where trying to explain to your friends that you're listening to depends on your friends. If your friends are cool, I think I talked about this in another podcast, that more and more people are understanding of niche hobbies and enthusiasts. So whether you're into boots or jeans or pens or headphones or whatever it is, people seem to be a lot more understanding that these worlds exist, which I think is a good thing. Back maybe growing up, I think it probably would have been very strange for most people to hear that there are denim enthusiasts in the world. Because for most people, jeans are just jeans. We have been, I guess, our eyes have been opened up to see that there's a lot more to jeans than just the utility of them.
could you share how you first got into denim yourself or myself? So I did talk about this in the podcast, but my getting into denim was kind of a happy mistake. I was looking for a new job, and I was working in an electronics store, and I wanted to kind of get off the sales floor and become a sales rep. So, working for Panasonic or Sony or one of these companies. And their headquarters were kind of not particularly far from where I live. So I thought, okay, maybe I should start applying for some jobs. And I was sending out resumes to these companies. And I thought, okay, well, if I get the interview, I need a suit. And you know what? I did once, not Sony HQ, but I did once. The Sony stores don't exist anymore, but I did once get an interview at a Sony store. And when I got to the interview, I realized that there was a hole in my polo that I was wearing. And I think that I didn't get the job. And I think I blamed it on the fact that I think I was poorly dressed. So I wanted to not be poorly dressed for my next opportunity. So I went online to a Canadian luxury retailer that we have called Holt Renfrew, and I saw that there was a career section, and I thought, oh, you know what, let's just throw my name in the hat there. And within a few days, I had received a phone call from them, and a few days later, I had an interview, and a few days after that, I was in training. So I had no real experience in the luxury apparel world. I'd never sold clothes before, but I was selling kind of mid to high end electronics. So I remember we had plasma screen TVs for $25,000 and $40,000 that I've sold. So selling kind of very high end and very expensive things were not that uncommon for me. I just figured I would have a little bit of learning to do. And so when I got the job at Holt Renfrew, they put me in the denim department. And from there, I floated around to many different departments, but I spent most of my time working in denim. First in men's denim, then I spent 3 years in the ladies' denim department. Then, and when I was in the ladies' denim department, I was working for Diesel, so Diesel Jeans. I ran their shop there. Then I went over to the flagship Holt Renfrew location in downtown Toronto, their biggest store, most beautiful store. And I was working for Diesel there as well. So I spent a lot of time selling jeans. While I was working for Diesel, and I have to say that I had a great experience working for them. I was also a raw denim guy, and through my working, I would wear Diesel at work, but I would wear raw jeans at home and everywhere else. So it was I just loved jeans. It wasn't a matter of I had a hate for washed jeans and things like that. I thought I still say today, if you're looking for a good pair of washed jeans, although I don't know what the current state of Diesel jeans are, but when I was working for them, their washed jeans were the best. They had the best quality. They had the most interesting washes, in my opinion. And they were made in Italy, so it wasn't some, China stuff. And, it's not necessarily that China's bad. It's just that, the mass market stuff it's questionable, especially when you look at some of the, like if you're buying jeans for the things that weird me out in mass market world is when you find jeans for $14 or $19. And I think to myself, how do you get a pair of, I could not do that. I don't know how they do it. I mean, I know how they do it, but maybe the real question is, I don't know how they do it. How could you do that? When you make a pair of jeans for that price, shipped, that means it was the fabric, the sewing, shipped overseas, so definitely on a boat, that definitely didn't fly. Anyways, packaged, so there's some kind of packaging involved, that tagged, put on the sales floor, cut to commercial. There's a commercial involved in that $14 or $19 jean as well. National campaign. How do you sell something for that price? somebody's getting screwed somewhere, and I don't think it's the shipping company. Anyways, so when I was working at Diesel we had the shop at Holt Renfrew, I had met Brandon through that. It was very early in the Naked and Famous Denim time. It was right kind of at the start, and that's when I partnered up with Brandon. He kind of saw this raw denim love in me, and from there we developed a friendship. And when he was ready to bring on somebody, I was the first employee, so that's how I got into this. So from there, here I am. This is over 10 years now. So my getting into denim kind of, I fell into it, but I loved it. There was something about putting a customer in a pair of jeans and them being so satisfied with it that, it was very satisfying for me. I very much prided myself in being able to fit a customer for a pair of jeans quickly and easily. I know a lot of people, especially when I was working in women's wear, women sometimes have a problem finding the right fit. Unlike men's bodies are diverse, not quite as diverse as women's bodies, but when it comes to a men's fit, whether it's a little bit loose or tight or, there's a lot more leeway for the way a man can wear a pair of jeans, whereas women are very particular about the way they wear jeans. So fitting a woman is much more, I find, difficult, because if a man's jeans is a little bit loose, that's okay. It's loose, it's fine. But women don't want that. Jeans really need to fit perfectly. So, developing a skill for knowing your product, knowing what will work on different body types, and being able to get a customer in and out of the change room satisfied without having to try on 30 pairs. That's the worst. Even when I talk to our staff, I let them know, never let somebody try on that many pairs. It's going to confuse them. They're going to leave with a horrible experience. You should know within maximum 3 pairs the right jean for them. Especially send them in with the first one. And sometimes that is kind of the gauge jean. A good salesperson, a person who knows how to fit a pair of jeans can look at you. They should know what size you are. They should be able to recommend a fit, and they give it to you. And if it doesn't quite work based off of that first try on, you should be able to adjust and get it within the second one, maybe the third one. Once you're past that, you're going to get into very confusing territory, and more likely than not, the customers is going to leave unsatisfied. So it's important that you know your product, you can fit a customer properly. And anyways, I just enjoyed doing that, and I still enjoy doing that. When sometimes I'll be down in Tateyoko helping customers, or if I'm in the New York store, I do the same thing, and it's just such a good feeling, when a customer leaves, and especially when they've been looking for that jean for such a long time, and they went to different stores, they tried on all the other things, and when they finally get that jean that they want and they're happy and satisfied with it, it's very, very satisfying feeling. And anyways, I think that got me hooked on that. And then of course the history and the production of Japanese denim and the dye methods and the culture and all that stuff behind it. So this is all very fascinating for me. I enjoy denim, the history of denim. So anyways, I fell into a rabbit hole that I didn't know I was going to love it. And then I ended up loving it. And now it consumes everything about me. So I don't know how many people fall into their lives that way, but I don't think it's that uncommon. But I'm happy that my life turned out the way it did. Hey guys, a lot of waving hello. I'm sorry, I ranted on for a bunch of questions. So will there ever be a black MIJ like the Akuma trunks fabric, and MIJ would be epic? There will be a black MIJ. It is not planned yet, but there will be one. The Vegeta was my favorite pair, but I'm so glad I got the cells next to my unsanfrized pair. I got my cells next. so glad I got my cells. My next Unsam Fries pair will be Pickle Rick. Pickle Rick is coming. Pickle Rick. I haven't seen much of the Boos. The Boos are the same fabric as the Trunks. It was basically just a smaller production run of that. So whether you're a Majin Buu fan or a Trunks fan, the quality of the fabric, the construction of the fabric is the same. The salvage edge is the only thing that's different. The Groovy Guy is such an underrated cut. I agree with you on that one. I was wearing my Groovy Guys just the other day, and it is a particular cut. You have to want to be, speaking of vintage denim, you have to want to be in that vintage denim kind of look world to get that going, or kind of I do see like in a cool kid high fashion world, a lot of flared jeans. So it depends on the style you're going for. I prefer the kind of vintage, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood boot cut kind of look. So that's where I go with it for there. I want to modernize the Groovy Guy a little bit, maybe take in that flare slightly. I think that I don't know even if I were to do that, if it's going to translate into more sales or not. We'll see. Once we have fall production done, I can get back to maybe doing some experiments. Right before the pandemic hit, we were getting ready to do a bunch of these things. So, long inseam versions of, Easy Guy. We were going to do the banner jackets. So these were all going to be done kind of on a pre-order thing. And then I also was working on a new fit that I wanted to experiment with through pre-orders with you guys. So I think I might do that. Not I think. It'll happen again just a little bit later on. The lull season for our production is kind of just in between seasons. So there's always a couple of weeks where it's not like peak production where I can throw in some, small projects here and there. So that'll probably happen around October. Once the end of October hits, then we're in like it's like end of September, early October, you get a little bit of a lull. And then we go right into full gear, like fall, winter by that time it'll be spring, summer production. So spring, summer 21. So, I just gotta hit it at the right time. I gotta time it right. Do you like pretzels? Yeah, I do like pretzels. Chocolate covered pretzels. Put a jean in a pretzel shape on display. The jeans, best looks for clothing in the store. Pretzel jeans? I don't know. I do want to make ginormous jeans, like humongous. I want to make a humongous pair of jeans for the store as a display thing, like floor to ceiling kind of, larger than life jeans, and then maybe have chain stitched, Naked and Famous denim embroidered on the back. I think that'll be kind of cool. It'll happen, just not anytime soon. We want heavyweight black MIJ. That'll also happen. With the MIJ, I know it's kind of next season will be 2 releases, but typically it's 1 release per season. We're gonna run it all. There's nothing that we won't do in MIJ land, especially if it's hardcore. So that's where we're able to really flex our power in MIJ land. Yes, we like pants. Ain't we a bunch of weird guys? It's true. We're all a bunch of weird guys here. When might the lotto be held for the specialty Japanese weave? Lotto for specialty Japanese weave? I don't know what that is. Yeah, mass market is usually garbage. Usually. It's, I think they're going to have to do a lot of self-reflecting these days. I see a lot of stores closing. I don't like it when businesses close because that means people are losing their jobs and things like that. That's not good. But it's also maybe an indicator of what the customers want It's not. So maybe they'll have to reevaluate the kinds of products that they make, which will ultimately lead to better product and hopefully better business, which will mean more jobs for people. So, anyways, this is or we'll just sell more jeans. How about that? And we'll hire more people. Are you working on 40 ounce? What are the challenges when increasing the weight of the denim and flexibility? We are working on 40 ounce. In fact, the fabric, we have fabric on hand. Sewing testing is pretty much done. We know what we're doing in terms of how to put the jean together. The biggest challenge, number one, was making the fabric. That there's some things I can't talk about because it's top secret. Actually, they're like, do not talk about this at all. So I will respect those wishes. But making the fabric was not something, the way they make their fabric was not how you traditionally would try to approach making a pair of, or making denim fabric. So that's what I can say about that. The other thing I can say about it is that everything about it had to be custom. The shuttles, a typical shuttle on a shuttle loom is like about the size of my forearm here, maybe a little bit smaller. The shuttles for the 40 ounce are humongous. So the challenge with making the fabric was having to do it for the first time and figure it out for the first time, how to make a fabric like that. The challenge for sewing is that no sewing machine until now, was ever designed to sew through that fabric. So we had to custom order a sewing machine that could sew through this fabric. So it's a monster. It's the size of me. And it is a single needle machine. That said, typical denim or jeans production involves many machines. Every operation has a specialty machine for it. So because we don't have a specialty machine for every operation has to be done on this one single machine that is not specialized in any other way except to sew through incredibly thick fabric. So figuring out the order of operations for making that jean, that had to be done for the very first time. Hardware for that jean has to be developed. So that's where we're at right now, because there is no hardware for denim that's that thick. So those are the challenges. Flexibility. Look, man, you're going to be wearing a rug on your legs. They're not going to be comfortable. Anybody who thinks that the 32-ounce denim is comfortable, and I've heard people tell me, and they're like, oh, yeah, they're okay, they're comfortable. Sure, I mean, you've gotten used to them. They're not such that, you can't wear them. But then you put on a pair of 11-ounce stretch selvage, and you're like, oh, okay, well, that's what comfort feels like. So you can wear them. They're not going to be your most comfortable or most flexible pair of jeans ever. But they are going to be one heck of a durable pair of jeans. So there's that. Any plans to do more duck? Canvas duck. Yes, we have a blackened steel. So it's like a charcoaly, greeny gray color coming out this fall. So there is a new duck canvas coming out. Mass market jeans are scary. I've bought Levi's made in Indonesia, China, Portugal that were all the same size, yet all fit completely different. Yes, I mean, you can even have jeans from the same factory come out completely different. There's a lot of... I talk about this because even within our own factory, depending on the fabric weight, time of year, there's a lot of things that affect the way a production lot comes out. And we're not... And especially because machines are operated by people. This is not some kind of precision tooling fabric is cut by hand. Well, at least in our factory, it's cut by hand. Machine operators are hand. You know, we don't have as many automated tools as I would like. So, those machines are very expensive. But that said, there's always going to be variances. So I don't think that's necessarily a sign of quality. Especially if you're not comparing the same fabric. If it's the exact same fabric, then maybe the variances shouldn't be so off. But if you're comparing a stretch fabric to 100% cotton, then you're gonna have variances for sure. Any early plans for the Metal Ox for Lunar New Year seasons? Previous years have been 12 ounces. Any plans to be heavier weight for the Ox? It is going to be the same fabric, and it is coming soon. I just got to double check. Is it the Metal Ox? I thought it was the Gold Ox. I might have to make a production change. Chinese New Year 2021. Animal, and let's double check this. Yeah, 2021 Gold Ox. I was correct. So yeah, it's coming. It's coming. The leather patch has been designed. It's just being finalized right now, but it will be the same fabric. I like that fabric as a kind of running item for us. Yeah, that gold and red Selvage ID is very beautiful. So anyhow, I don't think I'm going to be changing that fabric anytime soon. What brand is the collab that had girls printed on the inside of the Selvage denim? Girls printed on the inside of the Selvage denim? We did a jean called the Vintage Nudes, which was not a collab. We did we do... I'm just trying to remember back to the... We had another Vintage Nudes that I think we did for Barney's, which was a color print with like pinup girls on the inside. They weren't nudes; they were just pinup girls. Did we do one? I don't think the we did a Karmaloop jean, but I don't think it had naked ladies on the inside. I don't remember exactly. I remember that jean came with a condom, and the leather patch looked like a Betty Page kind of girl. I just don't remember what the inside of that jean looked like. Sorry, I'd have to look it up. Are the Groovy Guys bell bottoms? They're not quite bell bottoms. I would say that they are more of a vintage flare, vintage boot cut. Like if you look at like rock stars from the 60s, they are in that realm. They don't cover your entire foot like a bell bottom would. I've worn bell bottoms, and they're not bell bottoms. But they are quite boot cut. More so than a modern boot cut would be. What about a 70s guy recut? What about a 70s guy cut a reimagination of the Groovy Guy as a tight, long top block, tight through the knee, and mild flare, Burt Reynolds style top block? The Groovy Guy is that from the knee up. It is slim through the thigh, and it is high rise. The reimagining for me would be exactly as you said, would be with a less flare. So I'm thinking that's what I'll do as a... Maybe if either I'll do it for a pre-order to see, kind of just gauge people's general interest. And if the pre-order goes well enough, then I will make it whenever we do some Groovy Guy reproductions or another production of Groovy Guy, I will change it to the updated fit. So if that's what you want in a jean, that kind of high-rise boot cut, a little bit not so flared, be part of the pre-order. And if it's successful,
I will continue the Groovy Guy on with that fit. Sorry, just my phone here is doing some funny stuff. Okay. When you do collabs with other jean companies, what's the process? Do you guys shoot ideas back and forth? Yeah, I mean, it's usually a back and forth process. Like our current collabs that we do are usually with Burgess Plus, Kamikaze Attack, and Big John from time to time. So the way it works is usually we'll come up with a concept for the collection. Maybe we'll see something from their brand story that we want to highlight. Because sometimes this is a way to introduce these brands to other people. So, with Big John, I remember our first collab was bringing back the first ever Japanese made denim, because that denim was made for Big John. So we thought it would be a great way to introduce this brand and tell their story through our fit with going back deep into their archives. With Kamikaze Attack, we really like their design details. There's a hidden coin pocket detail that I really, really like. And so we incorporated that on our last collab with them. So it's always fun to work with them. And so usually it's some kind of brainstorming, but we like to highlight what makes their brand very, very special and then incorporate it in our fit. And if, sometimes there'll be a few tweaks here and there as well. But with Kamikaze Attack, usually there's some kind of like twisted theme to it, and we like to highlight that as well. So usually there's a t-shirt, a whole package thing involved with the Kamikaze Attack collabs. Yeah, some people are mentioning other brands. If it's not Kara Tate and Yoko, I'm not going to talk about them. So that's kind of the way it's going to go there. True Grit's rule. What unsanforized jeans will we see next season? You're going to see the MIJ jeans are both unsanforized, the MIJ 7 and 8, but they are Tempe treated, so they will be pre-shrunk. So you don't have to worry about any shrinkage with that. In addition, that's it. There's the Okayama Spirit 4, which Okayama Spirit series typically is unsanforized, but this season it is sanforized. So I'll show it to you guys right now. Let's do a little. Boom. So this is the Okayama Spirits 4. Very, very slubby, as you can see. Very streaky throughout. I really love this shade of dark indigo. It's very, very dark. Very, almost black. We've got that thick vegetable tan leather patch. It's kind of a brown, kind of Selvage ID. Matching with the copper hardware. So this is your Okayama Spirit 4. Not unsanforized, but it looks unsanforized. Is there a Selvage Denim Forum IG fellow viewers recommend? The forum that I personally would recommend is the Raw Denim subreddit. That's, I think that's where the best action is. It's the most active, and I think it's the most friendly environment. Yeah, I would recommend that. As for IG, there's so many good. Supreme Connoisseur, I would say he's, for Naked and Famous, he's one of the most consistent posters. But there's a lot. You'll see, because I share a lot of these people's stories. There's a couple of guys who are they constantly post great photos. Supreme Connoisseur is he's the fading master.
There's few people in the world. There are a couple guys out there who fade jeans like no other, and he is one of them. So if you like to see fast fades, definitely check out his Instagram. Any Greencast coming soon? Pickle Rick. Raw Denim Discord is fun. I'm in there from time to time. Yeah, Raw Denim Discord it's just a bunch of dudes who are just hanging out. It's not. I find that we don't talk as much about denim as maybe a Raw Denim Discord. Maybe because I'm in just general discussion. That's probably why I'm never in any of the other parts. But yeah, it's a great group of people in there. There's also a Raw Denim Facebook group, which is great community. I wish. Do I wish I could be in all of them? I don't know. I find that I don't have as much time as I used to be in all these things. I think because we're still dealing with kind of shortened staff, and there's a lot of stuff that we're doing on our end. So I don't have as much free time as I would like. Would you ever consider a low tension slubby pair for your core collection? Maybe. I think we have to take a look at our core collection and maybe thin it out just a little bit. There might be a few styles that are taking up space where a newer style could maybe take its place. Please sign me up for a pair of black 40 ounces. Well, let's get the indigo 40 ounces out first. Will you ever re-release Sashiko trousers? Maybe. I can see that happening down the line. We do have a basket weave chore coat coming out this fall. I could see us doing like an army pant in that same fabric, maybe down the line. Just joined. What did I miss? Oh, you missed a lot. We've been hanging out for a while. So you can check out the replays on IGTV immediately after the live stream. So I posted up there. I also post the videos up on YouTube if you prefer to watch on YouTube. I didn't post last week's video because it was very choppy. The quality was not great. So I did not post last week's video on YouTube, although it is on IGTV if you want to check that out. A condom that comes with the raw denim. Wow, what a joke. You know, the people at Karmaloop, you know, the way everything went down at the end, and you know, it wasn't great, but they were always great to us. We had a great relationship with the buyers and some of the seniors up in that company. Brandon, I regret it because I had an opportunity to go to Karmaloop HQ in Boston, and I didn't go. And I thought it was one of those things that I'll eventually get to go to it, and then it did not happen. But I think they still exist. They're just not the same as what they once were. They were really a mega powerhouse online retailer that somebody should do a documentary on Karmaloop. That would be interesting. But yeah, anyways, they thought it was they thought it would be fun, and so they actually made them. They printed them all up. Anyways, worked out. I have a handful of them in my office, just sitting there. They're not good anymore, but they exist. So yeah. Any Indigo by Indigo coming? Nothing new at the moment. Would you guys say that Trunks Akuma Majin Buu's is one of your most coveted fabrics you've ever done? I would say yes. The Akuma mostly because it was a incredibly tiny production run. Trunks and Majin Buu are also smaller runs, but not quite as small as the Akumas. I think down the line, even with the Vegetas, those are pretty much all gone. There's like a random sizes left. These are the things that a little bit after they come out, they become kind of incredibly sought after, especially once you start to see more and more of these fades posted online, and then people see those fades, they're like, oh, I want to get that pair, and they're like, oh no, that pair came out a year ago, where can I get it?
Did I dream that you mentioned a Stranger Things collab in a podcast? No Stranger Things collab. Rick and Morty. So if you want that kind of sci-fi feel, we do have that coming. Can you please blink 3 times if Naruto times Naked and Famous Denim is a possibility? Possibility is always the possibility for anything exists. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3. A lot of blinks. So take that with whatever grain of salt you want. Yes, I did buy them at Barney's. The best fitting weird guy pants I've ever bought have been getting slimmer. They have been getting slimmer since, or is it just in my head? Maybe it's just in your head because I've not been getting slimmer over the years. I don't know if that's everybody, but I think as we get older, that's generally the case. Naked and Famous Denim times Rockin' Jelly Bean Super Erotica Denim. We went to go see, we went to visit the shop here in Tokyo the other day. We are going to do something with Rockin' Jelly Bean again. We're just figuring out the right project for that. So it is happening. Could you post a close-up picture of the Ayazome? Would love to see the fabric up close. I'll show it to you right now, and I will do a post next week. I'm starting to get... I have to start making some imagery for all of the fall-winter production very soon. It's just that for production, this is going to be contrast stitching. So, anyways, you can get a good up-and-close look of the Ayazome. This is the natural indigo hand-dyed denim. Only about 30 to 40 pairs per fit. Super weird and easy will be available. This will be a very, very limited pair of jeans. Do you think the raw denim community has some snobs? I think there are a lot of snobs in the raw denim community. I think within any community, there's always going to be, some kind of gatekeeping, and I really despised that. I know that a long time ago, some of the forums were kind of very harsh on people, and it kind of turned me off because I thought, why are we trying to turn off? If somebody comes into even on within Reddit, somebody comes in new and asks kind of a quote dumb question, people answer them because they want people to feel welcomed in the community, and it's like, I really hate the answer of just Google it. I'm like, most people have. Okay, that's why they're asking the question. And even if they didn't, who answer it? Who cares? Be nice. Welcome these people. They're not asking you something rude, something personal. They're just asking for information. So let's spread that. So I do think that there's still a little bit of that going on. Not as much as there used to be. And then there's also just people's ideas of what raw denim is. I do find that to be a little amusing. Some people still have a hard time rationalizing stretch selvage. They're like, it's not real. I'm like, okay, well, it's heavyweight. What makes it real to you? It has to be 100% cotton, or it has to be vintage? Because if it has to be vintage, then anything heavyweight doesn't exist in the vintage world. So is that equally not real? So there's all kinds of this weird stuff that people will... One thing that I'm sure it hits my nerve all the time, and you guys, if you've seen me, I've definitely responded to this, although maybe I shouldn't, but, when people say gimmick, and I hate that word because it's like, a gimmick implies that there's some kind of, shadiness going on, that there's somebody's trying to fool you, whereas what we're trying to do is bring out something new and interesting and different, and to the same respect that back in the day, they were doing the same thing. People were trying to develop new fabrics and different ways to do things. Was Broken Twill a gimmick? It wasn't a gimmick. It was just a new way to look at things. So, colored denim, colored wefts, different compositions, slub. Slub is not an old convention. Slub is a modern convention. So, it's just kind of funny when people will very openly throw out the word, oh, that's just a gimmick. Whereas if another brand were to copy us, and they copy us,
then it's, wow, look at that. And it's like, okay. I have to, just going off on that tangent, just look at the way everybody names their fabrics now. You know, if you don't think that we influenced pretty much everybody at this point, even one thing I would say that we definitely influenced people on, okay, naming convention, sure. I think we've definitely did that, but fits. Oh boy, did people like skinny fit raw jeans? Didn't exist. You know, I would say that it's not that it didn't exist, it was very, very few people were doing it. And we were coming out with modern fits for raw jeans, and people were like, that's not heritage enough for me and not vintage enough for me. And we're like, okay, well then they're not for you, obviously. And you see this kind of all like about face from so many companies. I don't want to rag on them by name because I'm not going to do that. But it's so funny how many of them all of a sudden have fits that are exactly like ours. Just saying. So I know that people are out there copying us because I see it. And then even when we're in our fabric production meetings, like our guys are like, oh, so-and-so was asking about this and so-and-so was asking about that. So I know what's going on. So anyways, it's borrowing ideas. I think it's fine, but you know, some certain things, you know, you're in the raw denim world and it's like we all kind of see the same developments at the same time. You know, there might be we might be seeing the same trend at the same time, so we all kind of go down that rabbit hole. But just there are certain things that I find interesting when, you know, just speaking of like the snobs and the gatekeeping, where in one hand they'll say, wow, that's so fantastic from brand X, and then when we do it, it's somehow a gimmick, and it's like, okay, well, they're literally doing exactly what we did 3 seasons ago, so I don't see where this is coming from. So anyways, that's just my rant on that. You want to pinch my nerve, call anything that we do a gimmick. And not by jokingly doing it, but that will definitely. I just don't like it. It's just, you know, we're all denim lovers here, and to just kind of like insinuate like our work is somehow trying to fool somebody. It's so disingenuous. It's personally insulting, is what it is, and I shouldn't take it that way. But this is obviously my life's work, so. It does. It's not something I like, and I will usually comment on it. Although I don't know, I don't want maybe some people just want to upset me because for reasons I don't know. It's the internet. But anyways, rant over. Next rant. How rough is the Okayama Spirit 4 compared to the previous iteration? I have the Okayama Spirit 3, and it was absolutely rough and gritty as hell. I would say it's pretty close. The Okayama Spirit 3, I would say, is a little bit more nubby. Like, there were a little bit more, like, round nubs in the fabric, where this is mostly vertical streaky. You don't get that kind of, like, you know, in the King of Slub, you get a lot of those, like, really, like, thick knots. You don't have as many knots in this fabric. Big up Supreme Connoisseur for all your Naked and Famous content. Absolutely. Will the Sherpa line jacket be coming back? Yes, it should be. It's a core item. I don't know what our inventory status is right now, but if it's low, I'll double check and make sure that we have those restocked. Okay, you know what? There's so many questions I missed. I'm just going to scroll to the bottom. So if I missed your question, sorry. You guys are amazingly honest. Try to get everyone to get at least one pair. Well, thank you. Naked and Famous to the moon. I would like to have our jeans on the moon. Moon jeans. I have looked up kind of a way. This is one thing that has kind of always been in the back of my brain to try and figure out, like, space jeans. I want to incorporate some kind of technology or fiber that is used in spacesuits into a pair of jeans. I think it would just be fun. I kind of like anything space related. There is like, for example, I got suckered into buying this the other day. I don't know about you, but when you were a kid, did if you go to the science center or something, there was always space ice cream or like space pens, and like I was always interested in that kind of stuff. So there was a snack here, JAXA, JAXA. That's like Japanese NASA. So what was the deal with these exactly? Like, is this the snack that they gave?
So Kakinotame is a very iconic Japanese snack.
Yeah.
And they made a space version of it. They sent like
Wait, Risa's gonna read it for me, so she's gonna explain this one up real
so
good.
they JAXA like approved Kakinotame, which is these like crackers and peanuts, as like a Japanese space food. I guess it's like they recreated for space the same thing that you eat here, because it's very like, you know, old school. So maybe astronaut, when they go into the space for a longer period of time, maybe they feel like, you know,
homesick.
home. Anyways, so they created it and then approved it. But what they're selling here is not the space version of it. It's just the regular version of it, but in a package that celebrates the fact that now it's approved
For
space food.
Okay.
Sorry. Not so excited.
So it's not the real space food, but it's based off of the real space food, which is based off of the human food. You can see back there, if it focuses. It's kind of hard to do that. I guess that's the space version of it. Anyways, I would like to do a space gene of some sort. That would be kind of neat. You have something for everyone. Not all brands do that. You've been most welcoming online of all the brands I check out. Well, I try my best. I do like to create a welcoming environment for everybody. The experimentation is what makes Naked and Famous one of my most favorite brands. Well, I'm glad that you appreciate it. It's kind of funny because people will often ask us, like, who are these jeans for? Like, when we make something, and we're like, I don't know. Like, for us, like, we don't always make something with the intent of a specific customer. Sometimes the customer doesn't know that they want something. Who knew that they wanted an iPod before the iPod came out? You know what I mean? So the same thing comes to like colored core jeans or rainbow core jeans. Nobody was thinking at home, I really wish my jeans faded to a rainbow, because that wasn't an idea that existed in the world until, well, it was made. So that's kind of the thought process for us, is like, make a bunch of weird stuff, and of course make a lot of classic and things as well. But keep things interesting, and you might find that people are interested in things that they never knew they may have been interested in before. So we're going to keep it interesting. Pickle Rick unsanfrized denim jacket. It's coming. Hands down the most welcoming brand. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I'm trying. So anyways, I'm glad you guys, I'm glad it's noticed. Any restocks on Japan Heritage returns? Indigo possible? No restocks on that one. Looks like we're nearing the end of the live stream. The snack conversation is back. Yeah, I suspect that the end is coming soon, or I don't know. I feel like it's been going for more than an hour now, but Instagram hasn't cut me off yet, so I don't know. How are Japanese snacks? Okay, you know what? Let's end the live stream with my favorite topic, which is snacks. I think we got some other chips. My wife got these for me the other day. The fabrics hooked me in. You and Brandon made me stay. Well, thanks. I I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. You guys are why what I do it for. Can we get a corduroy weird guy pre-order in black? Maybe. I don't have something like that planned right now, but what I would like to have more of these little projects going on. Just ordered some chunks. Excited for my first pair of Making Famous. What a pair to start with. You're definitely going to enjoy those. So speaking of snacks, I was talking about steak flavored chips. So this is another one that we found. New strong. It's like garlic steak, butter steak flavor. I do enjoy steak flavored chips. So these are great. Actually, I haven't tried these yet, but there was a version of these, which I showed you guys before. This is wasabi steak with these like super crazy thick chips, which are unbelievable. Frito-Lay. They're only available here. By the way, I'm waiting for a new episode of Soda Review. I should do that. These are like fried chicken, like kind of Cheeto looking things. These and these. I love the packaging of this. Look at this packaging, is crazy. It's so nice. Like, I'm in Japan, by the way. This is my pantry. This is where I keep all my snacks. These are like curry, like stick chip thingies. I don't know what the... Yeah. These are awesome. There's so many good curry. If you enjoy curry, I enjoy curry. There's a lot of curry snacks, so these curry sticks are really good. And then they're like thick and crunchy. These ones are a little bit thinner, but like nice and spicy. Tried to see what shipping to Japan was for Chip Exchange. So bonkers expensive. Yeah, don't worry about that. Speaking of curry flavored things, this is like a curry flavored like fish mackerel curry. So it's like a canned curry. So I'm gonna enjoy this. The packaging is so beautiful. It's really nice. Yeah, that is. I'm gonna enjoy that. Some these you can get at like most Asian grocery stores, just like regular Japanese curry stuff. More curry, Java curry, keema curry. So, curry snacks are in. This is some fancy curry. Oh, this is soup. There's a very fancy hotel called Okura here. Okura corn soup. This is some expensive packaged soup. Got that as a present. And they're green curry as well. So if you're tuning in now and thinking we're going to talk about denim, no, it's just snack reviews right now. Oh, there's that. Okay, wait. I'm ending on snack reviews, by the way, just because it's my other favorite topic. This is what's this flavor?
Oh, it's ginger chicken like pot.
Yeah, from what, Taiwanese or
I think it's Korean.
Korean
Chinese.
or Chinese? I'm not sure.
One of them.
One of those. So it's like a ginger chicken, Asian kind of ginger chicken dish chip. It's kind of like a. Have you ever had hickory sticks? So they're just like these like corn, not corn, but potato like stick things. These are really good. But yeah, if we could get a decently priced Chip Exchange, it could be a thing. Maybe I'll bring back a bunch to Canada, and then we can do it that way whenever I go back. And I'm gonna end off with some Kit Kats, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. But I hope you're enjoying Snack Exchange or Snack Review. Not really review. I'm just showing you what's out there. And this is why I'm fat, by the way, because I eat too much of this stuff. Salty lemon Kit Kats. So salty snacks, like salty, like kind of fruity things are very popular here. So salty lychee as well. Salty lychee is a whole thing. Like, I love this stuff. This is like a salty lychee drink, and this is just the base for it. So like a concentrate, so you can make like a bunch of it. But you can get this stuff in the grocery store here, and it is so refreshing. Salty lychee. Yeah, I mean, guys, I'm just down with the snacks here. Some kind of plum thing. I don't know what that is. What else do we got here? Pineapple candies, like a lifesaver. Citrus chocolate. They're just so good. Like, America is great at snacks. Like, the variety that you guys have is incredible, but Japan's variety of snacks is, it's so incredible. There's something new every time you go into the store, and then it'll be gone in 6 weeks. Like, never back again. So it's kind of sad when the snack that you want is no longer. My wife is currently speaking of curry stuff that is like a curry granola. So this is like, it's not like, you don't eat this with milk or anything like that, but it's got even like dried chicken bits in it. But it's not bad. I thought it would be weird. I've had a little bit of it. It's not my favorite thing, but my wife loves it. So yeah, you've got like onion and pumpkin and carrot and chicken in here. So and on top of granola. My wife is worried that this product will disappear from the shelves, so we got to stock up on it. Oh yeah, we are prepared for fallout, I suppose. In Japan, you're actually required, not by law or anything like that, but you're required, just because the big one is coming, to have like a emergency kit in case you have to like shelter. So I've been working on my emergency kit, and I've got it down here by the door. If shit happens, grab the bag and go. Okay. This is a cool thing. I didn't know that this was a thing, but this water apparently lasts 10 years. I didn't know water goes bad, but you can store this water for 10 years, and yeah, it's supposed to be good. So, anyways, that's. I have a couple bottles of that for the case, and this is the Tokyo kind of safety guide, which I think is interesting. Okay, let's take a few looks through this book because there's some stuff that goes on in here. How's the beer in Japan? My favorite brand. I actually don't drink alcohol. Risa, what's your favorite beer?
Premium Malt came out with like a summer version of like a more fragrant, I would say.
More hoppy?
Well, not more hoppy.
Yeah.
It's not like bitter or anything like that, but it's a nice beer. It's like a refreshing.
Okay, so Suntory Premium Malts.
Yeah, it's called Kaoru Ale.
Okay, well, next time we'll...
Blue can.
It's a blue can. Follow us on our Instagram, and we'll maybe cover it at some point. But I wanted to show you guys this book here because it is kind of neat. So it's basically being prepared for this when all of Japan is consumed by a gigantic earthquake that will devastate all of us. And it ends with a manga, of course. And it's kind of terrifying. Everything has fallen to the ground except Tokyo Tower. That's Tokyo Skytree. Does Modelo time exist in Japan? Modelo time? I'm not sure. Modelo's? I'm sure you can get Modelo's here.
Yeah, it's not a good price.
Oh, Risa says not a good price. So I guess I'm not really sure what this is telling me on this page. Anyways, that's backwards. So let's start at the front. I can't read this, so but there are some great pictures in here. It's just talking about like affixing your drawers and stuff to the wall just in case of earthquake. How to store things properly. Here's what you need for your kit. I got to get a helmet. Some ramen. There's a huge, like, you can go to certain department stores and stuff, and they have like a bunch of like food, canned food that is for like disaster food. Like you can get disaster bread, for example, like canned bread. I guess how to take care of your pets.
This is life at like a
Life at the shelter.
yeah.
Here's how to flush a toilet. Old school Japanese squat toilet.
But there's like all these portable toilets that are designed for this.
Yeah.
So we should.
We need to have some. So yeah, I guess this is interesting. Here's what to expect at the shelter when you get there. What else is happening here? Oh geez. Volcano. Disease. Fever. It's kind of neat, like how like this preparedness guide. Like everybody in Tokyo got this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the government distributed this book to everyone in Tokyo.
We didn't live in Tokyo.
Yeah, we didn't live in Tokyo, so we ended up buying it for like $2 or something like that. It was not expensive, but it's very clever. Like how to make a what is that for?
How to protect your feet.
How to protect your feet from like moisture or like flood or something like
How
that.
to not dehydrate. You put like 4 tablespoons of what do you call it? Sugar.
Sugar?
And salt.
Sugar and salt, liquid.
Yes, I didn't know that.
Okay.
How to save
Water?
tap waters. How to make
How to make a portable toilet, or like how to make a toilet when your toilets aren't flushing, and here's how to flush a toilet when you don't have flushing power. How to make a diaper.
and these are cloth diapers. How to catch flies.
Wow.
How to keep like clean, hygienic.
Oh yeah, like here's a tooth, like brush your teeth with that. Yeah.
Lanterns.
That's cool.
Just some like fun projects.
Yeah.
To do. How to make plates out of these things. Yeah, I mean it's great.
Look how to cook a fish on some cans. That's great. So, how to do the exercises. It would be cool to put some of those graphics on a shirt or something. I agree. I think the artist who does this is I've seen their artwork around.
Yeah.
This is, I don't know the name of the artist, but I think they're kind of famous for doing a lot of like graphics for companies and things like that. So, yeah, how to make a sling. I'm not sure what that is.
This is to like I guess keep your tummy warm.
Okay. Like if you broke a bone. Mm-hmm. Tatami jacket, denim jacket is happening. So, anyways, we can't go through the entire book, but self-preparedness is a thing here for sure. So right now I'm getting our disaster kit ready, and I should definitely try to learn how to do some of these things in here before something bad happens. I guess being prepared is better than not being prepared. So, handy little book here. I'm glad that the government here supplies this or makes this information very very accessible. Okay, well, thanks for listening to all my non-denim talk. It's been a blast. I'll be back again next Friday, as usual, here on Instagram. And, yeah, I guess that's everything. We'll see you next week. Tate and Yoko sale starts on Tuesday. I'll have some spring-summer stuff to show you, spring-summer 21 stuff to show you guys soon. And I guess that's that. So enjoy the rest of your evening and your weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Later, guys.